NFL playoff picture and prediction coming up here on NFL Daily. Mitchell Renz from Chat Sports, ready to tell you guys about today's show sponsor, Manscaped. Let's say you're no longer in the picture. Why? It's probably because you're not using Manscaped. So head on over to manscaped.com/chat. 20% off and free shipping on the best male grooming products out there. Their slogan is, your balls will thank you. So will your girl. So let's look at now. We're going to start here in the NFC, and here's the current NFC playoff picture. I'm going to go through every single team still in contention, and as you can see, there are currently 8 teams still fighting for a spot in the playoffs. Let's first talk about the number 1 seed, the Green Bay Packers, who clinched the number 1 seed after a victory over the Minnesota Vikings. And then when you look at Week 18, my projection, call me crazy, they're going to end up beating the Detroit Lions. Let's be real, y'all. I get it. They might not play all their starters. Aaron Rodgers says he wants to go ahead and suit up. But are you really going to think that they're going to lose to the Lions? My answer to that is no. Packers win, go to 14-3. Let's now look at the Los Angeles Rams, who are currently with a 12-4 record. They beat the Baltimore Ravens 20-19. And this upcoming game, they got the San Francisco 49ers. I have them beating San Francisco in a very close divisional rivalry game. They also need to win this game if they want to maintain that number 2 overall seed, which I definitely think gives them an upper advantage in the NFC. So I have the Los Angeles Rams winning, going to 13-4. Let's look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the defending champs. They beat the New York Jets in a very strange game. Thanks, Antonio Brown. 28-24. They can clinch the number 2 seed with a win, and if the Rams lose, so you know that they're going to be going out there trying to ball out. I have them taking care of business up against the Panthers, a team that they beat 32-6 just 2 weeks ago. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they will be, say it with me, 13-4 at the end of the year. Let's now look at the Dallas Cowboys. Was pretty surprised that they lost to the Arizona Cardinals 25-22. Some would say that they got effed really hard. I personally think that they just got outplayed. The Cowboys need to personally avoid the number 4 seed, which it kind of seems like that's where they're going to end up getting stuck because, let's face it, if they're the number 4 seed, they're probably going to go up against Arizona again. I have them beating, though, the Philadelphia Eagles despite them not having Micah Parsons. Again, I think it's going to be a lot closer game than anticipated, but go ahead, guys. Let me know down in the comments section and whether or not you think the Cowboys are going to win that game. So who's going to end up getting the number 2 seed? The Cowboys can still get it, but they need the Rams, and then they need the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I believe, both to lose, and then Cowboys get the 2 seed. So who ends up getting it? If you think it's the Rams, type LAR. If you think it's the Buccaneers, go ahead and type TB. If you think it's the Cowboys, type DAL. Obviously, if you're following today's show, I'm going to go ahead and type LAR for the Los Angeles Rams. Let's now go to the wild card teams here in the NFC. The Arizona Cardinals, after an impressive 25-22 win up against Dallas, they can actually, which is pretty interesting here, clinch the division with a win, and if the Rams lose. Now, Week 18 projection, I have them taking care of business up against the Seattle Seahawks, improving their record to 12-5. Now, I don't know about y'all, but Arizona, it's pretty hot down there. And I don't know if you know anything about your manhood. It can also be pretty hot down there, so make sure that you're trimmed up. That way your gooch isn't smelling just absolutely terrible. Do you guys know what Famunda cheese is? Hopefully you don't. And hopefully you don't have any Famunda cheese. So if you don't have any, it probably means you're using the Lawnmower 4.0. Head on over to manscape.com/chat where you guys can get free shipping and 20% off on the best male grooming product out there. Some of the reasons why I love the Lawnmower 4.0. Changeable blades. If you're the type of dude that uses the same blade up here as down there, I'm going to question you a little bit. It's as simple as that. Long-lasting battery life. It's not going to vibrate in your hand, and the light at the end of it helps you get in those hard-to-reach places. If you want something more than just a Lawnmower 4.0, you can also get the Performance Package, which has ball toner to make sure that you're smelling nice down there. Ball deodorant, the most comfortable boxers you're ever going to wear, and the Weed Whacker, which helps you trim in some of those hard-to-reach places up in your nose. I don't know about you. Have you ever pulled the hair out of your nose? It freaking hurts, man. The Weed Whacker is phenomenal. Manscape.com/chat. Promo code chat at checkout. 20% off. Your balls are going to thank you. Let's go to the San Francisco 49ers, currently the number 6 seed. They beat the Houston Texans 23-7 and can clinch a spot in the playoffs with a win or a New Orleans Saints loss. Now, here's the issue. I have them losing to Los Angeles, so you're going to find out coming up here in a little bit whether or not I have the 49ers making the playoffs. But with them losing, then they fall to a 9-8 record. Let's go to the number 7 seed here, the Philadelphia Eagles, who already have a playoff spot clinched. And realistically, there's only one more spot available here in the NFC. They beat Washington 20-16 in a very ugly game. And this week, going up against the Dallas Cowboys, I have them losing to Dallas, which then means having them go down to a 9-8 record. So that means this, guys. We got one more team to go ahead and talk about here in the NFC, and it's the New Orleans Saints. Now, if you remember, I said if the 49ers win, 49ers are in. But I have the 49ers losing, which means if the New Orleans Saints win this game, they are in the playoffs. So let me know down in the comments who you got. Type NO for the New Orleans Saints, or I want you to go ahead and type ATL for the Atlanta Falcons. This game is in Atlanta, and the last time these teams played, the Falcons came out with a victory. So NO or ATL, I'm actually going to go ahead and type ATL. I see the Falcons winning this game. For whatever reason, Atlanta plays the Saints really, really hard every single year. And even though the Saints beat Carolina 18-10, I have them losing this game, thus putting their record down at 8-9. So overall, here's what the NFC playoff prediction looks like. The 49ers are 9-8. The Eagles are also 9-8. The Green Bay Packers at 14-3. The Rams 13-4. The Buccaneers at 13-4. And then the Dallas Cowboys, they go to 12-5. The Arizona Cardinals at 11-6. So here's the NFC playoff prediction after everything that you just saw. Now we are about to get into the AFC playoff prediction, but before I get into all of that, I do just want to tell you guys that, hey, I appreciate when you guys tune in. I appreciate when you guys watch our videos, but to make sure that you never miss a thing, hit that big old red subscribe button underneath the video and turn on those notifications. That way you don't miss anything. News, rumors, free agency. We have a lot of awesome shows in the off season, and a lot of times people ask me, why should I subscribe? Glad you asked. Videos every single day, literally multiple videos every single day. We go live at least 3 times a week, sometimes 4. Breaking news, we go live. We're interactive. So guys like the Pass Master, William Blair, Sick, Rigo, I see it down in the comments, and I appreciate you. 100% free. The more subs we get, the more videos we can do. Help us get to 274,000 subs. We're getting really, really close. Let's now go to the AFC playoff picture, and as it stands right now, here are the current rankings. The Titans, Chiefs, Bengals, Bills, those are your divisional leaders. The wild card is Patriots, Colts, Chargers, and then teams still fighting to get in. Raiders, Steelers, and the Baltimore Ravens. Now, we're going to go through from 1 all the way down to 7, and then even break down some scenarios here for the Raiders, Steelers, and Ravens. Let's first, though, talk about the Tennessee Titans, who are currently the number 1 seed. I have them beating the Houston Texans, and believe it or not, they actually lost the Houston Texans early on in the season, but they could potentially be getting back Derrick Henry. They just beat the Dolphins 34-3, thus improving the Titans' record to 12-5. Now, I was wrong on Tennessee. I said that they weren't going to finish as the number 1 seed because I thought the Kansas City Chiefs were going to take care of business. They were going to win the rest of their games, and unfortunately for them, they were unable to do so. Currently sitting there with an 11-5 record after a 34-31 loss to the Bengals. They can clinch the number 1 seed if Tennessee loses. I don't see that happening. I do see, though, Kansas City coming away with a win up against the Denver Broncos. Now, do you see Tennessee losing to the Houston Texans? Let me know. Who's going to get the number 1 seed? If you think the Titans are going to win, then you would go ahead and type TEN. If you think the Titans are going to lose to the Texans and the Chiefs are going to win, then that's where you would go ahead and type KC. The Cincinnati Bengals, the current number 3 seed here, after a big-time win against the Chiefs. But wait, Mitch, they can clinch the number 1 seed. Why do you have them losing to the Browns? I have them losing to the Browns because Joe Burrow is not going to play. Multiple players aren't going to end up going in this one. And I could just see Cleveland taking this game a little bit more seriously. Case Keenum is going to be the starting quarterback. And when it comes down to it, if you can win a game, I'm talking about the Browns here, if you can win a game to finish off the season, some of the steam in terms of guys getting fired cools down. So for that reason, I see the Browns playing their starters, going up against a lot of the secondary players for for Cincinnati, thus losing the game, going to 10-7. Let's go to the Buffalo Bills now. They're currently sitting at a 10-6 record. They beat the Atlanta Falcons 29-15. they can clinch the division with a win or a Patriots loss. I have them beating the New York Jets. No surprises here. They're just a better football team from top to bottom, finishing with a impressive record of 11-6. Let's go to the number 5 seed here. Let's go to the wild card, the New England Patriots. They whooped the Jags 50-10, and I have them beating the Miami Dolphins this upcoming week. A little bit of a revenge game. New England lost week 1 to the Dolphins 17-16, and the fact that Miami is no longer in the race here to make the playoffs. Bill Belichick, he's been licking his chops for this game, going up against one of his old coaches next to him, Brian Flores. New England wins this football game. Let's go to Indy. I don't know how they lost 23-20 up against the Raiders, but they did. And this week they're going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, if Indy loses this game, it can create a lot, and I mean a lot of chaos. Now, the Jags overall are bad, but Indy should no way, by any way, shape, or form, lose to them. Now, I'll kind of break down some of these crazy scenarios in case the Colts do lose this game, because then the Raiders and the Chargers can both get in. But if anybody wants to yell at me about my playoff projections, please go ahead and do so. I had an Eagles fan yell at me like 3 weeks ago, like, dude, you're wrong. The Eagles are going to make the playoffs. And guess what? I can look here and say, you were right, and I was wrong. Now, one team that I did not project to make the playoffs was the Las Vegas Raiders a few weeks ago. They've won 3 straight games, and if they beat the Chargers, they're in. Here's the thing. If the Chargers win, they're also in. And now this game has been flexed to Sunday Night Football. Now, that weird scenario that I was talking about is this. If the Colts lose to Jacksonville, the Chargers and Raiders could literally show up Sunday Night Football, take knees, tie 0-0, and both make the playoffs. Now, I'm going to say this. Obviously, I think the Colts win. So who do y'all think wins this game? Type C for the Chargers, or I want you to type R for the Las Vegas Raiders. Winner of this game ends up getting in. The Chargers won the first matchup 28-14, and I have the Chargers winning this matchup again. I love the run that the Raiders are on. I just think the Chargers are a better football team. From top to bottom, I really, truly do. Now, they beat the Broncos 34-13, and I have them beating the Raiders here. So, sorry, Raider Nation. I know you guys are probably going to come after me here. So, the Chargers, they finished with a 10-7 record, which means the Raiders, they fall to a 9-8 record, which means we still technically have 2 teams to talk about. But if you're following along with me, you'll know that mathematically, the Steelers and the Ravens can't really get into the playoffs. So we're going to go here to the Steelers if we possibly could, break down that game, because the Steelers are going up against the Ravens. Now, the Steelers, they can get into the playoffs here with a win, a Colts loss, and basically the Raiders and the Chargers do not tie. So it's kind of a bizarre scenario. I do have them beating the Ravens. For Baltimore, they need a win, and then they need Indy, the Dolphins, and the Chargers all to lose. I personally could see the Chargers losing. I could see the Dolphins losing. It's just the fact that the Colts would have to lose. That would be just a little bit too bizarre for me. So overall here, let's look at the playoff picture projection from top to bottom after all these games that I went ahead and went through. You got the Tennessee Titans coming out on top with a 12-5 record. They're going to be the number 1 seed. You have the Kansas City Chiefs at number 2 with 12-5. Bills, they go to number 3 with 11-6. The Bengals at 10-7. The Patriots 11-6. Colts 10-7. And then the Chargers also at 10-7. That is my projected AFC playoff picture. If you guys disagree with my NFC, AFC, remember, let me know on Instagram, I said that weird, or Twitter at Mitchell Renz 365.